Right, welcome everybody. It's Thursday, May the 20th. How's everybody doing today? Everything's going well. So it is Trade with UFOs, Nailing FX. It's our US session, and you're live with me, Andrew Hunt, on this Thursday evening here in Singapore. For those of you who are waking up in the US, good morning, and for those of you in Europe, good afternoon. Just to get through some of these disclaimers up the top here as we're getting started. We've got some interesting things that have been going on in the markets this week, especially in the digital asset space. So some very interesting things going on there. But we are focused on Forex, the currencies, and so that's what we're going to be looking at today. So we are simulcasted here on YouTube as well as with our coaching folks, where those of you who are part of our coaching community, we are live. And how we run these sessions is, we usually just spend a little bit of time going through the market environment, talking about any sort of closed trades that we've done, trade management of existing trades if we have any, and of course looking for those new opportunities. So we will be just spending probably about the first 20 minutes or so with the YouTube folks, streaming in our public streams on, also on Facebook, and then we'll be continuing on in our private stream, which is accessed through, of course, the tradewithufos.com/live website, where we'll be able to talk a little bit more openly about some of the things that we're looking at and the strategies that we are employing to take advantage of the opportunities that are out there. So for those of you in a public stream on YouTube and Facebook, if you do want to join us, feel free to go to our website and join our coaching sessions, and you'll be able to enter the private streaming rooms. Okay, so we have, if you had was with us last week and joined our launch of AutoUFOs for MetaTrader. So we have AutoUFOs as well as AutoClimate now on MetaTrader 5. You can watch the video on YouTube. Just type in that link. And it's also on our Trade with UFOs YouTube channel. And please go there. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, click like and click subscribe, and then you'll be able to get the latest from us here at Trade with UFOs. Okay, and of course, once again, since Bitcoin has just been the talk of the town these days, do write a commentary on Bitcoin, and of course, for what's been going on this week in particular, you'll have my comments on that next week. So do subscribe to our commentary, which is in partnership with ICE Exchange, ICE Singapore, where they have the backed Bitcoin future. So that's a very interesting product, and one that if you're only going long, if you're only able to go long in the crypto space, having the ability to go short is, of course, an important thing to do, as we all know in the FX space, and futures, of course, enable you to do that. So get into it and check into it. Okay, so again, what we're doing in May, we've got the MT5 MetaTrader platform launched, and of course, I know I've been saying it for a little bit of a while, but we will be launching the crypto course very soon. Okay, right. So let's get into the markets now, and here we are on MetaTrader, looking at AutoUFOs here and AutoClimate down below. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just start with the majors to begin. And so if I just jump across to the Aussie, let's start with the currencies out here. So what we have, if we just look at the bigger picture, I'll just zoom out a little. Okay. Clearly what we've been having over the later part of December and going into February was a big spike up, and then a bit of a move down, and into March. And so really since April we've been moving higher. So if we do a little bit of a trend line here, you can see that we've been moving higher. We've got these lower, higher lows forming along this uptrend line, and we do have these highs here, being formed, and so the latest higher high we see up here. So we're still in an uptrend, but as you can kind of see, the moving averages kind of flattening out here. So this is the 20 and this is the 50 period moving average. So you can see, especially on the daily sort of chart, you can see that they're flattening out a little there. So just telling you that we've got some sideways action occurring in the markets, and that's kind of clear, I think, from what we've been seeing in this sort of trading action here. So while we did have this higher high set in here at 70, 78, just under 79, we still have this high existing from the prior months that sitting up here, sitting up at 80, where we're going to see any sort of continuation right to the upside. We need to see a clearance of that, right? So on the daily chart, at least for what the UFOs are showing us, we still have a lot of buying opportunities down closer to this 74, 73 sort of area, 74.40, 73.40 area, right, as you can see here. And so with some cell UFOs forming above, it's, at least on the daily chart, it's indicating to us that there is some resistance above, right? So in particular, we've got resistance coming in a little closer here on the daily. So if we are looking at this this space right immediately in front of us from a daily perspective, then we do have some downward pressure that's kind of come into the markets recently, as we can see from this red candle here. Bit of a pause coming into today, but overall it's not very clear which way it's going to head. In particular, if we're going to see the Aussie dollar continue higher. It's not really indicating too much of that at the moment. So it's just something to keep in mind. Of course, here, as we see on the auto climate for this daily period, just zoom back out a little, we are looking at an emerging confirmation to the downside here. So again indicating and telling us, kind of confirming as well, that the overall environment, not just from where the auto UFOs are forming, the cell UFOs are forming above here, we've also got the auto climate also telling us that overall the climate is more to the downside. So we're looking for more selling opportunities than buying opportunities. So clearly, if we are able to break this uptrend line, then that will again be another type of confirmation, right? That we've got lower prices ahead, at least on the Aussie, right? So from a macro picture, keeping that in mind, even though we have an uptrend, things are moving sideways, if not to the downside, and any sort of confirmation of movement to the downside, probably need to take out these lows down here, right? So that's coming in closer to 76, 75, around that area there. Okay, 76, 75, and if you kind of break that area, then we will have some selling pressure come in. Expected to come in, right? So if that can get us past these lows and down back towards the 74.40 area, then we should get some sort of opportunity, if not a pullback to these sell areas, a continuation to the downside, and then probably some sort of zigzag down to the 74.40 area. So if we just take it down a notch to some of the lower time frames here, just to get a sense of where are those key areas currently forming. We can see here I've got some new buying levels kind of coming in at this area. So if we are looking to put some sort of move back up to the upside, it is possible that we could see this sort of trading action, right? And what that will do is if it's going to in the short term give us some sort of retracement back to these highs, then we can trade this what really would be a change in trend, right? If that were to occur, but we really would want to see, in this case, the break of these sorts of highs here. If we're going to see that sort of scenario play out to the upside before potentially continuing down. Otherwise, we could potentially see prices come out back to this 70, just under 70, shy of 78, and then continue to the downside and break some of these lows and keep on moving towards that 74.40 level, right? So that's one thing that we need to consider as traders all the time is the various scenarios that could play out, right? And then to be prepared for those scenarios as they play out, especially when it comes to risk management, right? So so the Aussie, from this 4 hour sort of time frame, we've got a couple of waves, right, to the downside. Not really breaking that low here, so that's why we have a little bit of a bullish sort of sense, at least from an intraday, intra-week type of situation. Now, if we go down to the 1 hour time frame, and actually one I just jump across and put that over here on the 1 hour, just so that we just keep this a little cleaner. Keep that up at that higher time frame on the 4, so we can easily jump back to that. And then on the hourly, kind of see what we're seeing from immediate sort of price action as we come into this second last day of the week here. So again, what we're seeing here, we just some tools we can bring up here. There is my rectangle. All right, so we can see here prices responded to this prior area of sell orders that have pushed the market lower. We do have, again, let me just get the rectangle. This area that we saw on the 4 hour buy UFO area, right? Kind of remember from back over here. That's where the buy UFOs were printing. If the UFOs will show up. Yeah, just to refresh a little bit, right? So that was that area there. Okay. And so we see on the lower time frame some UFOs forming, which is if you're already long down at this this retracement down here, then that's an encouraging sign, right, for the movement of price to move high towards these areas up here. So if we are looking for some intraday type of positioning, there is these sorts of scenarios that we can plan for. Okay, so we could get a continuation to the upside, especially as the US markets start to open up in another 15 minutes. We could see continuation of the Aussie moving higher, or we could see a bit of a pullback coming in back into the 77, sort of 25 area, and then a movement higher. So it will be key. I mean, we are taking out these highs here, so this downwards pivot move, cleared that. So get a little bit of push higher would be nice before a pullback, and then a move higher would be ideal. But if you are looking to break out, trade this breakout to the upside, then this probably would be a good time to look at doing that. Okay. So that's the Aussie going into this market here, and so if we, so it looks like we are moving a little higher there. Just refresh this. So we are pushing up higher here. Zoom in a little. See some of what the price action is going on here. Yeah. So if we do have that push higher, it would be nice. Let's see if we can look to get in. If you can do a bit of a breakout trade, this could be an area that if it kind of dips back down and pushes back up again, you can look into. Otherwise, a retracement down to this area here is also something that we can plan for. Okay, so just move this line. Ooh, going all the way. All right. So if we set an order here, so buy limit order, just modify that. So put a stop in there. So generally, where we want to put a stop is below this lower area of the UFO, and adjust it for by a few pips. So that'd be 77.30, 30, getting in at 77. Let's call it 45. That gives us about 10 pips space. And then if we want to take profit of say 20 pips, right? Then we would get out at 65. And of course, we would want to position size this. I'm just going to keep it at, it's just a default to the number there. But this is just for demonstration purposes. So, so what we'd see here is price come down here, and then we, for just a 2-to-1 sort of trade, we put our target here. Of course, if you're looking for a bigger risk and reward, right, then we can put also another trade in there. Just adjust that. So entering at the same price and getting out 35, 30. Okay. And then taking profit. Actually, the other one should be 65 because it's 15 pips from 60. So 30 pips into 70, 75 here. Okay, so just double check this. And this one here, that was, it feels 1-to-1, then it'd be more the 60. So let's modify that just to make that a 1-to-1. That'd be a 2-to-1. And then if you want to put another order in there for 3-to-1, then you can always do that as well. All right. So that's the Aussie for us. In the short term, we do have an upward move, and so that's really the trade that we're trading at this point. Just mindful of the fact, right, that we still have this downward pressure that's in front of us here. Okay, so this is more an intraday type of trade that we're looking at. Okay. All right. So so with that, we're kind of moving into the close to the 20-minute mark. And let's just take just a quick look at what's going on with the New Zealand. So again, the New Zealand, the Aussie kind of move in a similar sort of fashion. Just go here also, New Zealand, just to get that moving as well. So really, if you're going to look at trading, you can trade either the Aussie or the New Zealand. It's kind of good to diversify. So rather than be both in the Aussie, both in the Kiwi, kind of sticking to one or the other, since they move quite similar to each other, is something to consider. Okay, right. So yeah, I mean, New Zealand's a little bit different to the Aussie that we saw, but we can still see, right, prices starting to shift up. So if you did want to consider the New Zealand, that's also a possibility. Noting that, right, the UFOs, we're not seeing that here, so you may also not want to, taking a long here, since we don't have the AutoUFOs show here, but we do see that on the Aussie. So I think New Zealand we can skip for now. Just focus on the Aussie, because the Aussie is what's giving us the indications here. Right. Let's get back to the daily and then pop back down here. Okay, so just kind of refreshing that data feed there. Okay, so for those of you who are on YouTube, please click if you've found this first section valuable and interesting for you, please do subscribe to our channel and click like on the buttons below, right? And if you're with us on Facebook or streaming through some of our other social media platforms, thanks for joining us, and maybe jump over to YouTube and watch us on YouTube if you can. All right, so I'm just going to say goodbye to those of you on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll catch you next week. Okay, those of you who are in the private streaming on our website, Trade with UFOs, stay around, and we'll continue on looking at the other